Midnight Club LA, one of my favorite racing games of all time, and I genuinely believe it's one of the best in terms of what it means to play a racing game. And there's a lot of factors that come to play, but I think Midnight Club LA is the best street racing game. I'm going to explain why. Welcome back to I Love Video Games. So I played Midnight Club LA. Now, with this video, I'm probably going to give about 5 to 10 reasons. I'm not really too sure how far I'm going to take it, but I think, like I said, Midnight Club LA is probably the best street racing game overall, in my opinion. Now, I don't think it's the best Midnight Club game, but I think it's the best street racing game for a lot of different reasons. And then I want to say, before we get into this video, that I'm actually a big fan of Need for Speed and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, Need for Speed Underground 2, fantastic. There's a lot of great games in Need for Speed, but I think Midnight Club overall as a series is better than Need for Speed. I'm gonna get that out there so you can classify, like, where, or not classify, but clarify, like, okay, where is his thinking at. But the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Midnight Club LA is the map is generally better than a lot of these different games. For example, I think the most recent racing game I played was Need for Speed Unbound. That map was, I don't know, it looked cool, like it had some cool scenery, but other than that, that game did not feel alive. That game was kind of buns, I'm not gonna lie, overall. I also recently played Need for Speed Heat. I think it was called Need for Speed Heat, like maybe a year or two ago. That game also, the city was much better, the map was much better, but when I played Midnight Club LA, the map is just feels so much alive. You have real life ads, real life store, 7-Eleven, Michael Jordan billboards. There's so many cool things, so many cool brands just to showcase. The biggest thing I like about Midnight Club, and specifically Midnight Club LA, is because LA is my hometown. Basically, my LA is one, like, that map is 1-to-1, very identical to LA. I even say that that map is probably better than GTA. Like, GTA 5 map is pretty good. It's pretty accurate for the most part. But I think LA, Midnight Club LA, is probably 10 times better in terms of actually identical to LA. So when I'm playing all these different games, for example, the 2 games I just listed, Unbound and Heat, right? Heat was pretty good. Unbound has some cool scenery, but man, it's nothing. It feels, how do I describe it? It's like, it feels super unreal to race in your hometown, and not only that, recognize billboards, recognize signs, recognize streets. Like, you legit recognize streets, like 1-to-1 streets. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been on the street before, whatever. And it gives you a different sense of presence, and the presence in this game when it comes to its map just feels genuinely alive. And that's the first point I'm going to give. Like, I think people underestimate how the map can play into a racing game, because majority of the time you are driving fast, so you rarely ever get to see like certain of the small details. But Midnight Club LA has a lot of small details, and not only that, like I said, the map is a close 1-to-1, so it's a real life city. So if you generally like LA, or if you ever been to LA or anything like that, and you generally like the atmosphere, you generally like the city, you like all these different layouts, architecture, all this other stuff, whatever you want to say, right? You will like Midnight Club LA. It's as simple as that, because it's 1-to-1 to a real city. Right here. Get the frick out of here, son. Oh, frick, there's a brick wall! We in there. We in there like swimwear. Oh yeah, yes. Yes. Get the frick out the way. Okay, we catching up though. I see them. Frick out the way. Everybody out the way. I'm coming through. Let's go, baby. Get the frick out of here, son. Oh, no. Okay, we controlled that slipstream just a little bit. Much better, though. Give me one of those. Let's go. That's what I'm freaking talking about. Second, interior customization. I think people forget that, like, Midnight Club generally was the first to do a lot of these modern I would say customizations or modern features of these racing games, and people tend to forget that. And the reason why I'm saying interior customization and just customization in general is that this game has a lot of good customization. Like, I'm not gonna lie, so many good parts you can put on your car, so many good designs, so many things you can just build into your car. You like a more clean build, you can do that. You want a more raced out car, you can do that. And all the other racing games you can, majority of them you can. But I think what makes Midnight Club a little bit more different is that you can generally change almost everything about your car. Generally change a lot of it. The wheel size, steering wheel, seats, colors, and not only that, majority of modern racing games don't actually let you go that much in detail. Maybe some of them do. I think I believe Midnight Club, not Midnight Club, Need for Speed Heat did that. I'm pretty sure, but Need for Speed Unbound did not let me do that at all as well. So the fact that this game allows you to customize majority of different aspects and different parts is generally crazy to me. Like, if you want a wide body, you can do that. A lot of these racing games, you can't do that, which is absurd. I generally don't know what the process is behind that, but the customization is still unmatched to this day as of 2026, as of making this video. Midnight Club LA, has some issue when it comes to customization. It's not like all picture perfect, but I would say the customization still holds up and probably is still unmatched when it comes to a lot of these racing games, at least the ones I played. And not only that, this video is sponsored by Prime Opinion. Prime Opinion is a great place just to make money as a side hustle. Surveys, games, whatever it is. They also have weekly things where you can do weekly check marks. After a whole week, you'll get bonus money at the end of it, ranging from $1 to $10, and that's extra money just for simply making money. So you make money on top of the money you already made just for simply trying to make money and making money. It sounds crazy. Yes, I know, but it's generally a great platform. So if you're looking for an easy side hustle or just simply to play games on the side, whether you're working, day off, or whatever it is, whatever you got going on, especially with the gas prices and the economy these days, if you're in the United States, West, East, so it doesn't matter, certain parts, a lot of things are expensive right now. Everyone can use a good side hustle. So check out Prime Opinion, first link down below. It leads into another category of this game: money, rewards, and difficulty. Like, I think Midnight Club LA does something that a lot of games these days, modern racing games, do not have, basically. Let me explain this in a way where it makes sense. A lot of racing games, especially modern racing games, have something called like hand holding, especially like the Horizon series or like the Forza, whatever it's called. I don't really like that series too much. I don't think it's bad. It's just not my cup of tea. But for example, like Horizon or Horizon 5 or something like that, or like other Horizon games or even Need for Speed games, for example, they hold your hand a lot, like a lot. Midnight Club really doesn't do that. They have tutorials, they have easier races, easier missions, but at the end of the day, Midnight Club LA, the difficulty is still there. The idea of racing and actually genuinely losing because your car just can't meet the criteria that you need, or you are just an inexperienced driver. Like, I fall into that category where I actually oversteer a lot in that game. A lot of modern racing games has features for like assisted steering and all that stuff, and I think Midnight Club LA has some of that, maybe a little bit of that, because you don't want to make it too unfair for the player and too unfair for the person playing the game. You just want to make your game enjoyable. But I think Midnight Club LA has that difficulty still that a lot of games do not have. And I'm going to bring up a type of race that I usually struggle with: pink slips, or I don't know what they call it in Midnight Club LA. It's been a while since I raced one of those, but it's like pink slips. So basically, car for car. You lose your car. You win, you get that other person's car or whatever. And that difficulty is different. The pressure you feel by just having these high stakes races, it's like a genuine achievement when you actually beat that person. And the satisfaction, if I had to compare the satisfaction, I would compare it to like a Dark Souls boss. I'm a big fan of Front Software. And if I had to say the difficulty in terms of satisfaction, in terms of like being satisfied about winning this race or whatever, it falls in the same category as a Dark Souls boss, an Elden Ring boss. You can't get the better feeling of satisfaction or just being satisfied overall when it comes to competition. Midnight Club LA still has that difficulty where it feels like competition. Move. Y'all move out the way. Can y'all move out the way? This freaking Fast and the Furious freaking blockage.
You think you bad just because you in the lead?
We're gonna need to go. Are you serious? It starts a little ugly, then we start getting our flow midway through the video. Oh my goodness! You just jumped over the car. Oh my goodness. Get the frick out of here. You can get a roar too. Crash. Did you crash? Oh my goodness. You know, we'll probably call that episode here. Man, I was focusing so much, bro. Butt cheeks clench. Eyes burning. Another thing is that just in generally, when it comes to like Midnight Club LA and just Midnight Club in general, they do something really cool, which is like, how do I describe it? It's like open racing or open-ended racing. You're not stuck to like a track or something. You still got checkpoints, so you still need to hit checkpoints, but you can take shortcuts. You can loop around. You can take the longer route, the shorter route. You can go through a parking lot. You can go in through a park. You can go through a mall. You can go through windows. It's actually insane how genuine open-ended like the open-ended racing is in terms of a feature in the game. You could generally map out certain like routes, map knowledge, all that stuff, and use it to your advantage and win in these races in fantastic fashion. And that is just generally really cool. I never played a game that had that. Like Need for Speed Heat kind of has that, like a little bit, like not even a little bit, just a tad bit, like a touch, depending on what race and depending what route you're taking. But Midnight Club LA has a genuine route, but you can take different routes. You can go through alleys, you can go through, like I said, all these different things you can do to generally win. These checkpoints are spaced out enough where, especially in some races too, these checkpoints are spaced out enough where it's like, wow, I had to have 3 different routes to the same checkpoint. And then when I hit that checkpoint, I got 4 different routes. And then when I go into the hills of Hollywood Hills or whatever, I got slimmer roads. I only got 2 routes, but they have shortcuts. They have alleyways. They have places where you could drift into certain alleyways. And not only that, there's a lot of cool features when it comes to certain cars. Like for example, certain cars would do better, have better maneuvers for certain things. I noticed when I was driving the Corvette and the Evil, I noticed the Evil was definitely much more better in terms of hitting the shortcuts, but the Corvette was just much more better of just blasting, just straight up blasting. And I generally think that the open-ended racing is such a cool feature that modern racing games need to bring back, or bring back to a big degree where it's like it plays a big influence in their game. Because I know some racing games, modern racing games, do that to a little bit, but generally they have like barriers or a racing line you need to follow, and the checkpoints are very much close together, so you can't open up your horizons and open up your lanes to be like, okay, I'm gonna drive on this side of the road, we're gonna cut through the park, and then after the park we're gonna hit this parking lot, and then we're gonna hit this ramp, go back onto the route, the designated route, hit that checkpoint, then do this drift into a 7-Eleven, repair the car, get my NOS back, and blast again. Like I don't have that energy when it comes to other racing games, and Midnight Club LA is fantastic for that. Fantastic. And that just relates back to difficulty as well. Like certain races and routes will have higher difficulty if you don't use these shortcuts, don't use these open-ended spaces, these open-ended racing features. You would generally struggle a lot more if you didn't use it. Come on. Let's go. That's what I'm freaking talking about. That was a good first race. I love that, right? which is crazy. I love the fact. But some races, actually, it is more harmful to take these shortcuts sometimes. But some of these shortcuts can be cut off like halfway. So you have an alleyway that reaches into like a mall, right? And it has like staircase you can go. I have an example of this. I took a shortcut, blasted through the shortcut, about to win the race. Then I accidentally went too far into the shortcut, made me lose the race. Okay, a little bit of a crash. That's alright. It's alright. We got 2 roars and a Nos. We chilling. Gotta pick up that speed though. Let's do one of these bad boys. Bust it wide open. Sorry, friends. Move out the way. Don't get ran over and die. Fudge. We lost it. Nothing we can do about it. We're gonna take that one. Damn it. We had that too. We threw that towel in. I hate that so much. I hate that, like, the races will cut shortcuts off. Like, they'll cut shortcuts off. Like, you'll have, like, a full connecting shortcut on certain races. And then, like, in some certain races, those shortcuts will be cut off. So, like, a shortcut that connects to another shortcut, sometimes on different races, only one of them are viable. And it's like, yeah, I get the reason, but it's kind of like, oh my goodness. Like, you really telling me that I just did a full jump into a staircase and into another shortcut and I can't use it for that race? It's like, what was the point? It's so easily connected too, which is really cool. So I like how it plays into the difficulty factor as well. And the progression in this game is just generally better. I think it's just generally better than, like, you know, not giving you a crazy supercar in the first 30 minutes. Not giving you a bunch of freaking money just because you beat a race on easy mode 3 different times. Like, you played the same race 3 different times, got like 10k, 15k, 30k. Some of these games be giving me a lot more. Like, I know Forza struggles with that a bit. Like, they hold your hand so much and give you all these freaking cars like it's nothing. It's like straight brain rot, honestly. And then another thing I want to talk about is that this game is generally made and hosted and, you know, whatever you want to call it, by Rockstar. And Rockstar is a great game company. They made GTA, they made Red Dead. It generally has that feel where the game is very much in that category where it's like that Rockstar vibe, that Rockstar energy. You know, they put time into the game. For example, some racing games don't feel like that. I think Need for Speed struggles with that a lot. Some people think of Need for Speed as the best, and it comes very close, don't get me wrong, but they struggle with the energy in that game tenfold. Some games feel like Need for Speed, and then some games don't. I'll be like, especially when I was playing Need for Speed Unbound, I was like, what the frick is this? This trash. It's like, generally did not like it. There's a lot of different things in there that just make it very, very, very unpredictable. But Need for Speed, you know, has some good games, but Midnight Club LA, the overall feel of it is checks out. And Rockstar, just knowing that they produce and help the game or whatever it was, the situation, generally, that was already a green check mark for me, just simply because Rockstar's name is on it. Now, some gaming companies you can't do that for. I understand that some gaming companies you can't do that for. Ubisoft, for example, you know, a lot of odd and just disrespectful and just bad gaming companies. For example, the whole Battlefield 6 situation with EA and stuff like that, that's bad. Just to put like, yeah, EA worked on this, so I like it. But Rockstar hasn't hit that category yet, or probably never will. Who knows? You know, never want to say never, but you know, Rockstar is still like a generally good and positive company where I could say that's a green check mark for a game. Obviously GTA 6 is going to come out, so if you can say that for GTA 6, you can say that for Midnight Club LA as well. Another thing I like is the special abilities in the game. My favorite one is Roar. Roar is crazy. It pushes out all the freaking people out the way. Roar is awesome. I also experimented with a few different things, for example, shockwaves and stuff like that. I think Roar is the shockwave, but I experimented with aggro, EMP and stuff like that, and I generally like most of the special abilities, and I think it's a cool feature. It still has that arcade feel. You know, I think a lot of modern racing games could benefit from having like a more arcade feature, and I'm glad Midnight Club LA proves that having arcade features in your game is not bad. It's not bad at all. It's something if you use it correctly, it could be a positive, even if you're taking a more serious tone. Another thing I like about Midnight Club LA, unlike other racing games, is that it has less of that cringe factor when it comes to their dialogue. The dialogue is definitely more diabolical. Don't get me wrong. That dialogue, some certain lines can be crazy, but it's entertaining. It's fun. For example, when I was playing Need for Speed Unbound, even in Need for Speed Heat and a few other racing games, I generally did not like the dialogue. I don't know what it is about racing games, but the dialogue is actually buns. Midnight Club LA, from my experience and everything like that, it doesn't really have that problem, honestly. Honestly, it's kind of a benefit and a plus in certain categories. The jokes in these games, or not in these games, but in the jokes in Midnight Club LA is fantastic. It always catches me off guard too. And then the last thing I want to talk about is just the smooth transitions in terms of like no loading screens. There are loading screens, but there's no like break up into these loading screens. For example, you want to go to the garage, it zoops up and sends it back. And I think that's more of a Rockstar thing, because GTA 5 has the same feature where when you transition to a different character, it will switch where it feels like less of a loading screen. Midnight Club LA also has that, so I'm glad like a lot of these transitions feel good, because certain games, man, and just not racing games in general, but just games in general, they tend to struggle a bit when it comes to certain loading screens. I was playing a game, I forgot what game it was. I forgot what game it was, but it was like a game that came out like maybe 4 or 3 years ago, and it's definitely a little bit out there. It's already 2026, but I still consider that a modern game. Obviously, it was only 3 or 4 years ago, but the loading screens in that game was horrible. And then I jumped on Midnight Club the same day, Midnight Club LA. I jumped on that game the same day, literally faster transitions, smoother transitions, and that little couple seconds or maybe even a minute, depending on what game you're playing or what game it is in general, that faster transition doesn't really break my immersion, allows me to stay in the game, and also allows me just to have more fun overall. After all, those seconds do add. For example, you have a 4 hour gaming session and you have like all these loading screens taking seconds and seconds and seconds and seconds and seconds. That does add up. You'll eventually reach 20 minutes of where like you generally looked at loading screens. Now, for some people that might not be a good check mark and be like, yeah, that's a good game. But for me, I think no, zero loading screens, faster transitions into gameplay and stuff like that, into customization, into features, into options, into difficulty, and whatever you want to call it, is 10 times better for the game. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Midnight Club LA. There's a lot more, but I generally do love Midnight Club as a series, and Midnight Club LA. Like, I generally think Midnight Club LA is better than modern racing titles. I say this time and time and time and time again, and I broke it down to you. Atmosphere, mechanical, competitive points. I showed you gameplay on screen. Things like that are quite fantastic when it comes to this game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys agree, and if you don't, disagree. I would love to talk to you guys in the comments, and thank you guys for 10K subscribers. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I try my best every day and, try to do the best I can to produce good content, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. And once again, I'm just extremely grateful. And thank you for the awesome support on this series as well. I love video games, so I played that series, been popping off. We already have 2 episodes, so go check out the first one, which was about Tabs, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. And the second one was about the Modern Warfare Trilogy, the OG one. So if you're interested in watching those videos, go check it out. They have a lot of views, they have a lot of comments and all that stuff. They are generally part of my best videos. Thank you guys for watching.